I'll get started. I think one of the big things obviously is regarding Taison and talking about him. First and foremost, just your heart breaks for him because, he didn't get to have the type of year last year that he wanted, that, certainly wanted for him. But, there's some encouraging stuff from the standpoint that this injury, although same knee, was not related to kind of what he had gone through before. So it wasn't like I'm no doctor certainly, but just there weren't complications from that. This just was a kind of a random basketball injury. So that, I think, speaks well to kind of what that recovery for him can look like. Although it'll be a long one, it should be a good one. So certainly just feel for him and his family, and it's hard, but we have great support around him, and our guys have supported him really, really well through this. So I'm sure there'll be a couple questions regarding that.
Take just a couple on Taison.
How do you try to help him through this, given the journey that he's been through and what, obviously set him back last year? And then how does this impact the roster?
Yeah, so that support will be, some of it's just time, being around him, making sure he's around the program consistently. He's going to be rehabbing and he's, doing all that. But a great thing happened with our vets being in town. EJ Liddell got to speak to him. And so I think that was really powerful. EJ obviously went through an injury as he was, at Summer League, getting ready to go into his rookie season. So I thought that was great. And EJ, as those of you know who've covered this program, EJ's like, he's great at, being able to connect with people. So that was helpful. But yeah, the support will look differently from different people. A lot of it will be just, he's a part of our team. He's going to be around. Like we got to include him in things. But yeah, I thought that was a nice touch from EJ. And then regarding I think you said the roster, sorry. Yeah, so I think it's certainly, going into the season felt like depth was a real strength for us at the guard position. And Taison, had shown signs of being able to take a jump. I still think this depth is a strength for us. I don't think that it changes that. How great that depth is certainly has been impacted, and we're in the process of kind of evaluating what that means. From is there any other additions that we need to make there? But I do feel. Listen, I feel really good about who we have. I don't think it. I don't think it impacts. The overall depth of this team. I think it certainly, I shouldn't say it, it impacts it a little bit certainly, but not from the standpoint of like, hey, this isn't something we can recover from.
Yeah, just when you talk about other guys who can, sort of provide that off the bench, and obviously Junie's going to be a big part of the plan coming in as a freshman, but I guess how much are Evan and Micah going to be counted on to handle the ball, distribute in key situations this year?
Yes, I think I would answer that. Like, I think I've been pretty open about this. Like, I want to play more ball handlers, and I think that'll help us play faster. Evan can certainly do some of that. We've had really big plans for Micah from the moment we started recruiting him. So I don't know that whether this doesn't impact those plans. Like, they were big from the beginning. I do think create some more opportunity for guys like Junie. I'd add Colin White to that list of could open up some opportunity. And then with Evan and Devin, and I've told them this, I've challenged them with kind of expanding their game this off season to being able to do some more of those things on the perimeter. And so, I guess by committee, yeah, it'll be part of it. But I'm not concerned about it. I just, some guys are gonna have to step up a little bit more.
Can I ask a question in the back?
Hey, yes.
You guys had so many wonderful veterans over the last
Yes.
I don't remember seeing this many at one time come back and some huge names. So what has that been like, not just for your roster, but for this program to see that love coming back here?
Well, we get, on the inside, we get to experience what makes this program so special a little more frequently than just having all our vets around. But I thought it's certainly, it's really impactful and powerful for our guys to see D'Angelo Russell training with them and then coaching them. And then Keita Bates-Diop is, you know, it's funny, like he's echoing some of the same things we're saying as coaches, and I think that can be so impactful. You know, these guys that are vets now in the NBA are seeing things through a different lens. And then you have a guy, you know, Ron Lewis is here working out with our guys, Will Buford. So it wasn't just guys who are currently in the NBA. We had Clark Kellogg in the building. I mean, you know, J.J. Sullinger was here. Like, you go Ron Stokes, you go down the list of eras essentially that were covered in these last few days. It's really impactful. I think it left a mark on our guys because we talk about family. I've talked extensively about the family that is Ohio State basketball and how big and powerful and impactful and close that is, and we got to like really feel that and see that in a tangible way these last couple days. It was awesome. It couldn't have gone better. I mean, it was really great. Yeah.
If I can ask, the portal at this late date, like 24/7, as an example, produces a 1 to 100 list, and there was Coleman Hawkins was the last guy off that list that went somewhere. Is there anybody in the portal that could help with this late date? With, you know, you feel you need a guard for 1 year to replace what Tyson may have been able to give you?
Yeah, I think we're looking at all options, and one of them is sitting tight too. You know, I think we're evaluating that. So the one thing I don't want to do, we have a really good thing going right now. I don't want to rush into something, but we're evaluating that, certainly.
Could you kind of give what you thought may have been Tayson's role? Just we didn't see him a lot last year, right? So what did you envision for what now has to be replaced because we didn't get to see a ton of what he may have offered?
Well, I think the one thing that I was really excited, I'm still excited about this team is like there's some real healthy competition on this roster for time. Maybe some of that is impacted certainly with him, but you know, those roles haven't been defined yet. I think you have some veterans who are probably a little more defined. You know, Taysom wasn't a veteran. To your point, he hadn't kind of. So, yeah, I mean, I love the fact that we have competition kind of across the board on this team. But, you know, maybe has some of that been impacted a little bit? Sure, perhaps. But I don't think anything too drastic, no.
You got one more inning? Okay, I was just going to ask about Michi. Walked in.
Do we need to ask him to leave?
No.
I guess he could go back and see it online or something, but.
I was just going to ask, you know, getting the opportunity to work with him beginning of his career, now having him back for one final year, what's that like firstly, and then also, what's the biggest change you think you've seen from him in between those two stints?
Yeah, I'd say his growth as a man, as a leader, his maturity is different, and he's still the same, like fun loving, you know, hardworking. He's not a kid, I guess. He's a young man now, but I think some of those like foundational things that make him the special person he is are still the same, but he's grown as a leader. You know, he's matured. I've been really impressed with his consistency, you know, in those areas since he's been here. So that's why, you know, I think you guys will talk to him, but he and Bruce and, you know, Micah will bring some of this with his experience. Like I'm so excited about kind of what our backcourt and can be. It's going to help drive this team all season long. These guys that you'll talk to are you know, a huge part of that. But he's grown up. He's grown up from the first workout we had back in the day where he lasted about, what was it, Meech? Like
15 minutes.
about 10, 15 minutes to now he can go a little longer than that and do it at a high level. So no, it's been fun to see.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, guys.